Today I've got a bit of a story time for you. It's about gold trading. And I don't mean stock markets or anything like that. I mean physically. And now people don't talk about how dangerous it is. So I'm going to talk about my experience with it and what happened with me and why I've cut down with it. So when it comes to gold trading, people don't emphasize enough the length that other people will go to for gold, because the value of it for someone who does it compared to someone who doesn't have it, there's a big difference. So when I talk about the people that don't have gold, I'm talking people that go out and commit crimes. Someone will pay the person to get their gold so they can sell it cheaper, but they're still making a lot out of it. So they're going to come and try and get it off you for nothing, and it could be a piece that's worth like 2-3 grand. So what happened with me when I was gold trading? So when I was gold trading, I was doing it with my friend. I started off on silver. It was my friend gold trading. I was buying silver, blah blah blah. And my mate was like, if you can sell me this piece of gold, I'll chuck you some commission from it. We'll call it that. I'll pay you some out of it because you've got me the sale. So anyway, we're out doing this van man work, and he's like, you fancy chucking this gold on your story? I'll chuck you some extra money out of it because you've got me the sale. See what you can do. So me being the hustler that I am, I've done it, took pictures, put the prices up on my story, and then I didn't air out for most of the day. I was meant to have this silver sale, never ended up happening. They didn't turn up. I think it was just a load of faff. You get that a lot with this trading. Anyone that does it will know that. Then it gets later to the night and I get these messages. So I'm not thinking anything of it, and it's not a real account. I should have. The red flags was there, and they're asking about who's going to be there and all this sort of stuff, saying that they're nervous, telling us they're young, they haven't done it before, so they just want to know the ins and outs of who's going to be there, how it's going to be done. So me also being fresh to it and not having the experience here, I thought, well, fair enough, it probably is new to it. I'll help him out because I could have done with the same. So me being a nice person, told him it's just gonna be me and my mate, we'll exchange, and that's it. So once everything was agreed, we turn up to the spot. Starts to get a little fishy, we didn't finish work till 2 o'clock at night. He said that was fine. Another red flag. So we've turned up, we've waited 5 minutes, nothing. 10 minutes, he's messaging through, just saying, yeah, I'll be there in a minute. And then 15 minutes, another red flag. So anyway, as he said, he was young, didn't think out of it. He come to the van, he's like, I forgot the money, I'm gonna have to get it. Red flag. In that situation, it's, you say they're going to try and do what they're going to do anyway. So what I says, right, get in and then I'll pass it you, because obviously it's a bit more secure. So he gets in, we're about to hand it him. He comes 30 seconds, if that, the door swings open. There's this guy, he's got a balaclava on, fully like clothed up, and he has this massive stick, probably about that long. Obviously, my mate's the driver, it's his gold. Straight away he's going towards him with it. And I thought at first, I don't know why I thought it was mess around. I kind of thought it was a joke because it's not an everyday thing. So I think the shock kind of got me, and then the reality was like that. And then all of a sudden, he's coming at me, and he must have been this close. It was there, it must have been that close from getting me. And I have instinct didn't know what to do apart from defend myself. I tried. Well, I did, successfully. And I grabbed his arm. And how I grabbed his arm, without him, getting me, something was looking over me. So anyway, once I've grabbed his arm, realising, right, I've got myself in a better situation than what it could have been. But bearing in mind, this young lad still sat next to me. Me not thinking he has anything to do with this. So what happens? I've got his hand like this, and I'm pushing it back. So this thing is coming out here. I've got his hand here. And you got to bear in mind, this young lad sat here. Me not thinking nothing. So I'm pushing him back out the door because he's still hanging onto the door while I'm pushing him, and he's proper trying to push it. Luckily, I've got him like that. The next thing you know, I've just pulled all my weight. I've got my foot and just booted him. Did not budge. He was gripped onto that door. So then I've booted him again, but I knew I had to let go of his hand for him to get out of that door. Because either that, I keep hold of his hand and, slips down a bit. So I've kicked him again, he slips, so I've let go, straight in his head, bang, out the door. It wasn't going very fast because my mate kept stalling. I'm like, drive, drive, drive. So anyway, he's out, and then I've looked at the young lad next to me. I'm like, you're still left. And he's like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? And he's got his hand down here, and I've looked, and he's got a tomahawk. If you know what a tomahawk is, it's a throwing stick sort of thing. So I didn't expect that. And because he's sat next to me, you got to think, so he's in the van, I'm sat here, we're squished up like this. So he's like that. While he's squished up, obviously my shoulder, so he's squished up here, my shoulder is like behind his shoulder's leaning on top of me because I was squished up in this van. So I've pushed his shoulder, so now he's like this. I've grabbed his shoulders there, pushed him against the door, so with this throwing stick, he can't do nothing. All of a sudden, we're going at like 30 miles an hour, like trying to get away from this situation. He's opened door, and I've got him like punching him in the ribs, because self-defense, trying to save my life, and not get any gold robbed. So then I'm hitting him. He's opened this door. I've pushed him in the back. Next thing you know, I've just booted him straight in his back. Bearing in mind, I'm admitting this because I told the police everything. So I've kicked him in his back, and he's just gone flying. Don't think there's any harm done. We went back round when we contacted the police. Well, you know what? I hope harm was done, to be fair. Like, you're trying to harm me. I've got things to come back to. I've got things to lose. I did not want that to happen. So anyway, we've drove off. We've gone back to top at estate. We've rang the police. We've come back. We've told them. The only thing we've got, because obviously the guy was masked up, and then there was the kid sat next to me. He had his puffer with him. So anyway, because I've got him out, he had that in his hand when he was in the van. So obviously when I pushed him out, he's dropped it. It stayed in the van. He's gone flying with his throwing stick, and I've had to give that to the police. Obviously, I've described the kid. Told him what I know of him. The guy was masked. So all I could say of the other one, they've checked CCTV, nothing. The only thing that we can hear back from really is the vape. But I'm basically making the story time of my experience with gold. Has anyone else been in this sort of situation? And like, why does no one talk about, when people want to sell gold, they don't talk about the risks of it? Because there's innocent people out there that go do it. They don't want to do it like that. And the thing is with private selling, you can get a lot more than what you'd get from a shop. But if you've been in any situation like that, let me know in the comments. Put your situation, what you did. But I thought I'd share my experience and let people know the risks of gold selling if they do want to get into it. But if you do it, play it smart, do it in a public area through the day, not 2 a.m. Even the police found it dodgy and were like, no, there was nothing dodgy about it. It would just finish work, and obviously it did seem suspicious. But do it in a public area, outside a gold trading shop, and just keep yourself safe.